Did BlackRock just scam all XRP holders? Guys, we got a lot to talk about today. Big news with BlackRock possibly filing a spot XRP ETF. Did that actually happen? Did it not? We got a lot of news to cover today, and we are going to hop straight into it as always. Let's first take a look at the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is having a decent day. You know, it's just kind of treading around the 36,500 range. And today is Tuesday, so that means TradFi is open. And the stock market, S&P 500, as you can see right here, has been absolutely pumping. Take a look at this. And it's looking like it's going to, could possibly, get above that local high we saw back in July, which is really nice to see. Markets are pumping, and the dollar has been dumping a little bit. So obviously when the dollar is dumping, we know that liquidity kind of spreads back into stocks in crypto, which is, nice to see. Now let's head over to CoinMarketCap. As always, let's take a look at what's going on. Solana currently, Solana's been dumping a little bit, but of course, it's just been on this enormous rally. So it's kind of expected for it to have a pullback. So it's pretty normal to see. Cardano at the 8 spot. I don't think anything's changed around. I think Tron just flipped Polygon. Not too sure. I think Tron was hanging around 10, 11, 12. I could be wrong there. But yeah, and Avalanche has also been pumping as well, up at $17. So good stuff. Now let's head to our first story of the day. Take a look at this. U.S. inflation falls to 3.2%, lower than expectation. Of course, that inflation metric is calculated by CPI. And let's take a look at this report from Watcher Guru. Shout out to the guys at Watcher Guru, always providing. And as I said here, U.S. inflation has fallen to 3.2%. Indeed, the Bureau of Labor Statistics CPI data has displayed a decline in annual rates for the first time in 3 months following the September inflation rate of 3.7%. That's pretty good to see. We want to see inflation coming down. Of course, once again, the CPI metric, is, of course, like all this data, it gets approved by a human being just like you and me, and they can kind of play around with the data how they want. And the CPI metric is also kind of a interesting metric to, evaluate inflation. So they can kind of play around with the data, but this is what they're reporting. So, and this is what affects the market at the end of the day. I personally think inflation is probably a lot higher, but this is what they're reporting. So, and this is what's actually affecting the market. So, and as it says here, the development is certainly a positive one for the Federal Reserve. Moreover, it points to a potentially continuing downtrend, with inflation continuing to slow over the last several months. Additionally, the report shows that prices have increased a mere 0.1% compared to last month. Pretty cool to see. As it says, another headline, U.S. inflation falls for October for first time in 3 months. Pretty good to see. I think we want to see inflation coming down. I think that's a good thing, if it's, inflation coming down, of course. Yeah. But anyways, to our next story, take a look at this. Argentina's inflation has risen to 143%. And Argentina is in a very interesting position right now. You guys have probably heard about their, who's going to become their new potential president or prime minister. I don't know which one it is, or they have a king or whatever. But it's this guy named Javier Miles, and he's actually a Bitcoiner. What he has proposed, he's a very hardcore libertarian. And obviously, Argentina's in a very tough economic situation. Inflation has risen to 143%. And what he has kind of proposed is to kind of just, throw out the Argentina Central Bank and basically just run with US dollars and also get some Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoiner as well. I'm not sure if he's going to end up buying Bitcoin, but he basically wants Argentina to run on a US dollar system and kind of just wants to get completely in bed with the Federal Reserve. And honestly, that's not too bad of a, strategy considering they are in a tough situation and their central bank's kind of fucked. But with that being said, I don't think a lot of people realize this. I watch a lot of Peter McCormack and the What Bitcoin Did podcast, and he went down to Argentina. And when you go to Argentina, it's not like people are panicking. But the reality is people are just spending their money. So they know the inflation rate's rising so fast, they basically get their paycheck and they just spend it immediately. But most people kind of just continue with their daily lives. But obviously, there's a big compounding effect with the inflation rate getting to 143%. And I do think if Javier Miles was able to, secure that spot as their, president, I think, it could get really interesting having some dramatic changes made. I don't think a lot of people understand that going in and just taking out a central bank and then replacing with another system can cause some negative and some positive effects. I think long term it would probably be positive for them to be on a US dollar standard. But with that being said, it's good. I think in the short term it could cause, a ripple with, the people and the sentiment in general, of course. And once again, he's also a Bitcoiner, which is fucking amazing. So maybe he ends up buying Bitcoin in the future and pumping our bags. Guess we'll have to see. Now, to our main story of the day. Oh my goodness. More BlackRock. BlackRock is, I think, going to be the story of this next bull run. I've said this before. I think Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, will be the Elon Musk of this upcoming cycle. But just take a look at this headline from Watcher Guru. BlackRock has not filed for a spot XRP ETF. Whoa, 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 what happened? And then take a look at this here from the block. Fake filing for BlackRock XRP Trust caused brief price spike. And there were like, a bunch of accounts, of course, this happens in crypto a lot where fake news just kind of gets around. We saw this recently with Cointelegraph just reporting fake news about the spot Bitcoin ETF getting approved. But take a look at this tweet from Whalewire, probably one of the catalysts for this. Notice how when the BlackRock Ethereum ETF finally was announced, everyone was cheering for it. No one doubted it. But the moment BlackRock files for an XRP trust, never happened. The entire Maxi community starts having nosebleeds and saying it's fake news. I'm not going to lie to you, this account, Whalewire, it used to be this guy who runs the account had another account, and I think it got banned. I think his name's Randy. I'm not too sure, but sorry for watching this, Whalewire, but they seem to be reporting on fake news a lot, not going to lie. Claiming they're anonymous, non-existent BlackRock insiders told them LMAO. This space has an interesting bias against XRP. I think it mostly stems from fear. Fear destroys competition. Nobody fears XRP. They're literally, Ripple just dumps on people's heads. I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're an XRP holder, but I mean, there's quite some reason why it hasn't hit an all-time high in 2017. Now, of course, in order for Ripple to move forward as a business, they have to continue to sell off XRP. But, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies to make money off of, And I'm not saying you can't make money off of XRP, but if you're kind of long-term holding it, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's your money. You're a grown fucking man or woman, so you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, I think this is kind of some bullshit. And once again, BlackRock never filed for an XRP trust, so this is kind of shitty. I mean, it is what it is. Like, game is game, honestly. They probably, put out a long before they put out that tweet. But then take a look at this more, this was kind of what's going on from XRP Captain. Breaking, BlackRock allegedly registers iShares XRP Trust product for XRP spot ETF. And I'm not saying an XRP, spot ETF couldn't ever come. I don't run BlackRock. I don't know what the fuck Larry Fink wants to do. He can do whatever he wants. He can fire a Doge ETF if he wanted. But yeah, this is another, report that came up. So, and of course, this did have an effect on the price. XRP, as you can see right here, this big fat candle, it did pump a lot. There's a lot of news from that. And of course, this is what, this is very common to happen. And we know BlackRock recently filed for a spot Ethereum ETF. So people kind of just probably, and what actually happened was somebody, let me give the backstory real quick of how this actually happened. So somebody just kind of spun up an LLC, I think in Delaware, called BlackRock. And then they just, basically just created a fake news and propaganda and everything. And take a look at this from the block. Fake filing for BlackRock XRP Trust caused brief price and spike. As we go here, a fake filing that was designed to look like BlackRock was setting the stage for an XRP ETF caused a temporary price in XRP. The filing was submitted to the Delaware Divisions of Corporations and published on its website. It contained details matching similar BlackRock filings, including the name and address of its registered agent. It was similar to previous filings for Bitcoin Ether, but naming XRP. Yet a BlackRock spokesperson confirmed to the block that the filing has no relation to the asset manager. This means BlackRock is not currently preparing to launch a spot XRP ETF. Yeah, so I do not think they're... I would be very surprised, in my personal opinion, if BlackRock ever filed for one. If they did, game is game, like good. But my personal opinion with XRP is, why would a company like JP Morgan or one of these big banks adopt it when they could create their own system as well? We've seen JP Morgan already create their own blockchain. Once again, you're a grown man or a woman. You can make your own decision with their money. Personally, I don't think XRP is going to be replacing the whole global financial system. And apparently that's a hot take because of my last video I made. Some of you guys might be back, but there's a lot of people hating on my take about XRP. Of course, they're XRP holders, and that's why they're hating on it. The sentiment's different from my TikTok, But once again, I don't hate any cryptos. I'm just reporting on what the fuck is going on, okay? So before you attack me in the comments and everything, just remember, you're allowed to like some cryptocurrencies and say, hey, I don't really believe in this one. We can still be okay, And you probably shouldn't have your whole life, not financial advice, you can do whatever you want, but you probably shouldn't have your whole life betted on XRP or any cryptocurrency. Okay, guys? At the end of the day, it's a fucking piece of code, okay? Don't get fucking all weird with a piece of code. That's literally all it is. So, yeah, guys, that's all we got for today's video. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Fuck it, even if you hate this video and, you want to talk some shit, talk some fucking shit. Get my engagement up. All you're doing is pumping the engagement. So run that shit the fuck up. Go follow me on Twitter, first link in the description, and let's get it. Thank you for watching.